I'm Chris with iPhone in Canada with a review of the Town Master LEGO Fusion virtual game. Now before I get into it, as of this review, this game and all the other LEGO Fusion games, there are 4 of them, are only being sold in the US, and the app required to play the game is only available on the US App Store. So if you saw my unboxing video, you know I had a friend of mine, Bricks for Chris, pick this up for me, and I do have an American iTunes account. So what is LEGO Fusion? Well, it combines your traditional LEGO building with block with a virtual world that you control on your mobile devices. The app is free to download, and as of this review, the set costs $35 American. Yes, you can download the app and play without the physical set, but doing so only provides you with 3 different building options, and the special scanning plate is needed to be able to add your creations to the game. LEGO Fusion Town Master comes with 256 pieces, and that includes the Mayor minifigure, as well as the scanning plate. The pieces themselves are various colors and shapes, but you will notice they are only 1 stud wide pieces. Now that's because when you're creating, you're only building the face of the structure. It then gets scanned into the app and the game finishes off the sides and the back. LEGO Fusion Town Master is fairly straightforward and easy to get into. You're the mayor and your job is to build a city and keep your citizens happy. Along the way, you will be prompted to build certain buildings such as a school, fire station, police station, and many, many more. You'll also be required to complete various tasks to earn more studs. Now that's the in-game currency if you're not familiar with LEGO video games. These tasks can be as simple as riding a bike through the street or catching a thief or putting out a fire. You can play the game at your own speed, but I found the game tries to push the pace, which can become confusing. 1 second you're building more houses to increase your population, and then next you're having to ride your bike down the street and get a flower shop built. Everything seems to happen really fast. I do wish there was an option to slow it down a little and make it feel a little less rush. Now, of course, you don't have to do what the game's asking right away, but once you start playing, you sort of feel like you have to. From within the builds you've added, you can also add extras like fountains, tables and chairs, hot dog stands, and other stuff to make your city look nice. These are all in-game and you don't have to build them. They're there again to make your city look nicer and keep your citizens happy. Okay, but what about building and scanning your creations in? Now, as I mentioned earlier, the special scanning plate is required. It's where you build the fronts of your creations. Your builds can be up to 16 studs wide and 16 bricks high, and you have to include a door. When you're finished, then comes the fun part, or the frustrating part, scanning the creation into the game. To do so, you have to use your mobile device's rear-facing camera. It has to lock onto the base plate, which can be tricky at times. Make sure your table or wherever you're playing is clutter-free and you only have the plate and the build in the camera view. If there are pieces or other things in view, it can be tricky to scan and the final result can be wrong. Now, LEGO has suggested putting a white piece of paper under the plate to help with the capture, and while this does help, it's not a solution that makes scanning work 100% of the time. Usually after the base plate has been detected, you'll need to lower your device a little, and once the little green icon on the right turns green, you tap it and it takes the picture. From there, it brings your creation to life within the game. It'll give you a preview before you proceed, so if there are mistakes, you can simply take the picture again. When we first got this and tried it out, I'm not gonna lie, I was very frustrated because it took forever to lock onto the base plate and I kept getting builds that weren't right. Now, had I done this review right then and there, I would have said don't even bother with LEGO Fusion Town Master, but having given it a little bit more time, I can now scan the builds pretty quickly and with very few mistakes. The trick? Lighting. Just make sure it's not too dark where you're playing this. If you're by a window and it's daytime, use the daylight to your advantage. After a while, you'll figure out your own ways to improve the scanning process. Once your creation is scanned in, you can place it anywhere, you can rotate it, and even after it's built, you still have the option to move it around. One thing I was really interested in when I first heard about LEGO Fusion was the ability to use your own LEGO bricks that you already own. Now, I can tell you, it's not going to work unless your pieces are the same as those included within the game. I've tried using different colors and shaped bricks, and they don't work. The game just doesn't recognize them. It either places them with something it knows, or it just leaves them out, leaving you with big holes in your builds. This is a real shame. I was really hoping that the game would be able to recognize more bricks than those provided, but at the same time, I understand the difficulties that would go along with trying to make use of the vast assortment of bricks in the LEGO lineup. It's just not possible right now. Maybe someday, but for right now, you're stuck with what's in the box and any of the same pieces you may have in your own collection. The box itself also acts as a storage box because you really don't want to be losing these pieces or mixing them up with the pieces in your own collection. Some other notes: if you have the physical game and want to play on the road without your bricks, you can. You can still add buildings, you'll just have to choose from the ones that you've already created. So my suggestion is, if you're, say, going on vacation, build a bunch of structures and scan them in before you leave. That way, they'll be there for you when you need and want them. Also, do try to make the buildings unique looking. As you expand your city, it can be tough to remember where certain stores are within your city, especially when you need them for certain tasks. For instance, if all your buildings look the same, it can be tough to find the hospital when somebody is injured and needs help. From when I first tried the game to now, I have to say I enjoy it a lot more. I know my 5-year-old son, Devin, likes it a lot more too. It's a lot of fun designing your own city and trying to keep everyone happy. The animation and graphics are great, and the game can quickly become very addictive. What's great is while you're playing a video game, you are forced to take breaks and actually build using your real blocks to keep moving forward in the game. So it's not just all screen time. The recommended ages for LEGO Fusion Town Master are 7 to 12, but my 5-year-old son has no problem playing it and understanding what's going on. I think if you're a big fan of LEGO video games, you'll really enjoy Town Master. It offers something new, and I think there's plenty of room for growth and expansion within the game. As for when the rest of the world might get this, well, I'm not sure. As of this review, LEGO has only said it's a US exclusive, so we'll have to wait and see. Quickly, if you watched my unboxing video, you know I also picked up LEGO Fusion Create and Race. I was planning on combining the reviews, but Create and Race is so vastly different than Town Master, it deserves its own review, so stay tuned for that in about a week. If you enjoyed this video, a like would be appreciated. Also, feel free to comment. I love to hear from you. Also, feel free to subscribe. That way you won't miss any of my future videos, including the review on Create and Race. For more daily Apple and iOS news, make sure you check out iPhoneincanada.ca. I'm Chris with iPhone in Canada. Thanks for watching.